So come on forward if you would. And we'll get started here just shortly. Okay, once again everybody, thank you for coming. We've got a nice turnout. We appreciate you making time in your busy schedule here, third week of June, to come celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jolly Roger Amusement Parks. You know, in 1964, a gallon of gas cost 25 cents. A gallon of milk was $1.06 and a loaf of bread was 21 cents. The Beatles appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time in 1964. Hit some of the top songs were I Get Around by the Beach Boys, I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles, and Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. And I was a third grade student in Miss Harmon's class at Prince Street Elementary in Salisbury. And in 1964, Charles Buddy Jenkins and Arnold Palmer's manager Mark McCormick met. Jones owned a large parcel of Bayside property in Ocean City, Maryland, and Palmer was the reigning king of golf at the time, and developing driving ranges and miniature golf courses. Jenkins purchased the franchise and in July 1964 opened the Arnold Palmer putting course and driving range right here on this site. The following year he added 10 amusement rides, and over the next several years Jolly Roger Park established itself as a major tourist attraction in the Seaside Resort. In 1974, Jenkins purchased the Ocean City Pier Company, and a multi-million-dollar renovations added new rides and attractions downtown. This would later be known as Jolly Roger at the Pier. As Jolly Roger Parks celebrate their 50th anniversary this summer, this family-owned and operated amusement parks have become a tradition of family fun for generations of tourists. Jolly Roger Amusement Parks has consistently reinvented itself and evolved to bring the best amusement values to Ocean City, its visitors and guests. And its 36 acres comprise the best of nostalgic rides and new cutting-edge attractions from all over the world. It's truly become an Ocean City landmark. So without further ado, I'd like to have our esteemed mayor, Rick Meehan, step to the podium, say a few words, and all of our speakers have been told to be brief. Let's see.
We told Senator Matthias that twice. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and it's an honor to be here, and it's great to look out and see so many friends out here today that are here to acknowledge really a great accomplishment for a business to be growing and thriving for over 50 years anywhere. It's quite an accomplishment, and it's certainly a testament to Mr. Buddy Jenkins and what his vision was for this property and for Ocean City. I do want to say I'm proud to be joined here today by our Council Secretary Mary Knight, Councilman Joe Matresic, Councilman Brent Ashley, Councilman Dennis Dare, and our City Manager David Recor. And also here is the gentleman who I'm so proud he's here with us today, probably the most important mayor of the last few generations, and that's Mayor Fish Powell. And Fish, welcome. Jimmy and I thought we knew a lot till we met Fish, and then we learned a lot more. So Fish, it's great to see you. Again, this is a wonderful park, and what it's provided for the visitors and the residents of Ocean City over the years is fantastic. So I want to congratulate you on 50 years of success. And Mr. Jenkins, if you'd come up here for a moment. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Mayor.
I do have a proclamation to read, and this proclamation is from the Mayor and City Council, the citizens, and everybody here. And it's on the Town of Ocean City letterhead. It's a proclamation, Jolly Roger Amusement Park, 50th anniversary. I'm going to read it. Whereas, the Jolly Roger Amusement Park has been providing great family fun in Ocean City for 50 years. They opened in July of 1964. And whereas Buddy Jenkins acquired the large parcel of land at 30th Street in Ocean City in 1964 after meeting Arnold Palmer, the reigning king of golf at that time, who was developing driving ranges and miniature golf courses. As a result of that meeting, Mr. Jenkins opened the Arnold Palmer putting course and driving range in 1964 at 30th Street. Whereas in 1974, Buddy acquired the rights to the iconic Ocean City Pier, and with a multi-million-dollar renovation, added new rides and attractions. Whereas over the years, Jolly Roger added a wide variety of attractions, a full amusement park, several live shows, a petting zoo, and most importantly, in the early 1970s, at the 30th Street location, a go-kart track and a concrete water slide that were the beginning of Speed World. Now home with the largest collection of go-karts and tracks in the country, with over 11 tracks and 400 cars. And Jolly Roger's crown jewel, Splash Mountain Water Park, arguably one of the best water parks in the region. Whereas Jolly Roger Amusement Parks are celebrating their 50th anniversary this summer, and this family-owned and operated amusement park has become a tradition of family fun for generations of tourists in Ocean City, and its 35 acres comprise the best nostalgic rides and new cutting-edge attractions. Jolly Roger has truly become an Ocean City landmark. Now therefore, I, Rick Meehan, Mayor of the town of Ocean City, Maryland, do hereby proclaim June 17th, 2014, Jolly Roger Amusement Park Day in Ocean City in the honor of the 50th anniversary of this Ocean City gem. Congratulations. And if you'd stay here for one moment, I'd like to ask Council Secretary Mary Knight to come up.
Buddy, on behalf of the town, the mayor, the city council, we'd like to present this key to you. And the first thing I said to Buddy today when I saw him, I didn't even know he was 50. How can you have a business for 50 years? So go ahead. Okay, so congratulations, and let me present this to you.
Key to the city, and it's signed by all the councilmen and the mayor, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, next I'd like to ask Bud Church, the president of the Worcester County Board of Commissioners, come up and say a few words. You're the only guy in a tie today, I think.
I rented it. I apologize for the tie, buddy. I just had to drive 80 miles an hour to get up here from a commissioner meeting, and I almost didn't make it. The bridge, there was an accident. They were doing road work. I told them I had to get through because I was coming to see you, and they cleared the path. Thank you, buddy. You do miracles. Buddy, I want to, on behalf of the county commissioners, I'd like to say thank you very much for allowing the commissioners to be part of your 50th anniversary celebration. The mayor said it, you had a vision that few had back in that day to build and develop what you've built here today. It's not only an asset for Ocean City, but all of Worcester County. And as a matter of fact, the state of Maryland. I told Buddy this story a few minutes ago, and I'll keep it short because I know Matthias has a lot to say. I told Buddy this a few minutes ago. My wife has friends from Connecticut that came down a couple of years ago, and we took them on the boardwalk, and we took them to Rassers and dumpsters and every place else, and then we brought them over to Jolly Roger Park. They called 3 days ago and wanted to know if you could get them accommodations in Ocean City, and we told them that we would. And the little boy in the background kept saying something, 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 and finally the father said, "What is it you want?" He said, "Ask Uncle Bud if Jolly Rancher is still open." Jolly Rancher. I said, you know, Buddy, you'll never let you in that park calling it Jolly Rancher. Buddy, thank you for what you've done. I also want to thank you for the tax dollars that you bring in. That's been important to the county. Thank you, buddy. You just helped balance the budget. Charles Buddy Jenkins opened in July 1964 as an Arnold Palmer putting course and driving range on a large bayside parcel of land that has grown over the years into a Jolly Roger amusement park at 30th Street and the Ocean City Pier, a thriving tourist attraction that includes Speed World, Splash Mountain, Water Park, Jungle Golf, Treasure Hunt miniature golf courses, extreme zip line, food, midway games, and entertainment. Whereas on the 50th anniversary of this family-owned and operated amusement park, we recognize Jolly Roger as an icon part of Ocean City and thank Mr. Jenkins and his staff on cultivating these family-friendly wonderlands that draws residents and visitors alike to the resort year after year. Now, therefore, we, the County Commissioners of Worcester County, Maryland, do hereby recognize June 17, 2014 as Jolly Roger Amusement Park Day, executed on the seal of Worcester, State of Maryland, the 17th day in June, year of our Lord 2014, and it's signed by all the County Commissioners. Thank you, buddy.
All right, and now we'd like to hear from Senator Jim Matthias. And Jim, we've been kind of forewarned, so we've got the I've got the extension cord on hold. So come on up, Jim.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How about it? Welcome to another beautiful day in Ocean City and Jolly Roger. Come on, put your hands together. Now, Mr. Mayor and Bud and Dean and all, I'm just glad my mother taught me right. She said, Jimmy, you know they love you when they kid with you. So I feel the love. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, and I promise you I will be brief, but the mayor leaned over and asked me, you know, when you look at this great crowd here, he asked if I would just make sure that Doug Simak is recognized. Doug, where are you out there? How about a Councilman Doug Simak? I see Brent and Dennis and all, Mary and all, and I just appreciate it. It's been such an honor. And Rick did say it right. But before I go any further, buddy, I thank you. And I really do. I got here, and you know, I was raised on a midway in Gwynn Oak Park in Baltimore City. And we got here, Dad and I got here, and no sooner we were here, he died suddenly, and we were on a side street. And I knew I had to be up on that boardwalk, and everybody I talked to said I got to go talk to Buddy Jenkins. And I got my nerve, and I came up here, and I went to that back office. How many have been in that back office? Raise your hand. Now, if you think somebody's got a lot to say, you get in that back office with him, you'll hear it all. And I was all worried about having it all just right, and he looked at me, and I weighed about 135 pounds, if you can believe it. He said, boy, you got a cigarette? Let's take a walk. And from that day on, he's always taken me for a walk. When I left being the mayor, somebody said to me, what do you miss the most? And I'll tell you what I miss the most. I miss seeing the families and their smiles and the love and all when they come out of the park. And being raised in an amusement park and spending the last 43 years of my life around this park and down on the pier, buddy, I just want to say to you sincerely, to you and Laura and the family, on behalf of the many, many, many families that have come here and will continue to come here, thank you and God bless you, and thanks for all the Maryland and Ocean City memories you made. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? And Fish will tell you the most. You know, when we left here to go to Annapolis, I always, honestly, whether I went with him, and I'll save the stories on the council or when as the mayor, and Rick goes up now as the mayor, or now I'm up there and in the Senate. Honest to God, I always wanted to be like Fish. Because when we went there, the doors opened up and people said, Mr. Mayor, what can we do to help you? What can we do for Ocean City? And it's because of all of you that they felt that way, but Fish's leadership. But truly, there were so many people around Maryland that couldn't afford to come to this park. And Pete Rollins from Baltimore City, who was the former chair of the House Appropriations Committee, you'd know it was summer, and he'd pick up the phone and call down and say, I'm bringing down some kids from the city, and we're going to Jolly Roger. And I'd be out here with now Senator Lisa Gladden, and those kids couldn't get off that bus fast enough, and they couldn't stay long enough. We tried to extend the day so the sun would stay out even longer. And they had a fabulous, fabulous day here, buddy. And whether it's those children or the children at Kennedy Krieger, or the folks out at the Jenkins Center, or all the way around, it didn't stop here on this footprint, but it's carried throughout this entire state to the families and the people and throughout our country. I thank you. I thank you for your business acumen. I thank you for your friendship, your candor, your dedication. Just as late as last week with the Maryland Coastal Bays out there with the EPA out on that farm, you continue to give and give and give, and you come here to work every day to make it all happen and to grow those smiles. One more time, let's hear it for Jolly Roger, 50 years. Buddy, you have a moment, please come up. And buddy, you can talk about the Governor's the William Donald Schaefer Day that you had here, and you pick up the phone. And honestly, when I go in to see the Senate President or the Speaker of the House or the leadership of the committee, so help me, when anything that has to do with the Eastern Shore or Ocean City, before the conversation's over, they say, what does Buddy Jenkins think? And let me tell you what they think about you from the Governor of the great state of Maryland. Be it known on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the occasion of the 50th anniversary of Jolly Roger Amusement Park, providing Ocean City families fun to countless visitors and the residents during the past 5 decades. With special appreciation of you, Buddy, the original owner of the park, and as the people of Maryland join together in expressing our congratulations and sincere best wishes for a fun and memorable celebration. I'm pleased to stand here today and represent Governor Martin O'Malley with his governor's citation, the 17th day of June 2014, signed our Governor, Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, our Secretary of State. Much deserved, and God bless you, man. And then, of course, you know, I said this was the Senate of Maryland, where George Washington once stood. And President Mike Miller stands, you know, for the longest continuously serving president of the state Senate, United States of America. And he don't ask me what Buddy Jenkins thinks. What the hell does Jenkins think? So, you know, he's just like you, and you guys have been a fabulous pair. And from the Senate of Maryland, I bring you this resolution. Be it known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Jolly Roger Amusement Park and you, Buddy Jenkins, for celebrating 50 years of family fun. But thanks to you and your family. The entire membership of the Maryland Senate extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented to you on the 17th day of June 2014. Signed, President Mike Miller, sponsored by myself and the entire Maryland Senate. Thank you. And thank you for taking me on the walk. And continue to walk me for many, many years. God bless you, man. Many to come.
One of the rare times in my life I'm overwhelmed just a little bit. But I thank our friends here for their congratulations. You know, a birthday is a time to remember. It's more than just a celebration of a particular event. As we have our birthdays, each and every one of you will remember certain things of the past. And some of the things I've been remembering, old man Reese Cropper, president of a very small little community bank, has a great deal of faith and trust in me to give me what I needed to get started. I remember Harold Chance Manufacturing in Kansas City, putting 6 or 7 rides here with no money down and no set promises to pay. I also remember the employees of the past, as well as the present. The word faith and trust from Reese Cropper, the word faith and trust from Harold Chance came into play with employees. They had faith and trust that they were going to get a hold of a tiger's tail and they were going to have a good time and they were going to get their payroll check every week. And when I look at that, I'm looking out there at Mike Jones, 40 years. Mike O'Neill, 21 years. Ricky Banks, 24 years. Lance Bouchette, 18 years. Matt Gardena, life. Eric Ulrich, 19 years. Rick Smith, 24 years. Jimmy Brazee, 10 years. Les Morris, 21 years. Wendy Nathan, 18 years. Terry Swinsko, 17 years. Brenda Marks, 11 years. Angel Rush, 13. Elaine Stevens, 10. Margie McBain, 47 years. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Try things. Watch them. Analyze them. Think about it. We tried one track. The public liked it. Then there were 2 tracks. The public liked it. Then there were 3 tracks. The public liked it. And then we began a variety of tracks, and the public liked it. And as Dean said a while ago, today, because of paying attention to the public, they'll tell you what you need. You don't need an architect, you don't need a designer, you don't need an intellectual. You pay attention to the public. Today, it's the largest go-kart track complex in the United States of America. And we're not finished yet. We've got some exciting things that are on the drawing board right now that we're getting ready to do. You've got Splash Mountain here. It just didn't happen. It happened because I had nowhere to put the dirt that I was digging a big hole except on a little hill. And then I dug another hole for another pond, and it went on that hill. And then I put things in those ponds. Some worked, some didn't work. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Adapt, change. I kept looking at that mountain. Mike Jones and I talked about it. What can we do there? Well, we can put a slide there. What kind of slide? It has to be a concrete slide. There were no water slides anywhere in the United States, so we put a concrete slide there. And we paid attention. The public liked it. The next thing you know, there was another slide, and then another slide, and then another slide. And then a gigantic highway called a lazy river ride, which would take the roads that led up to it, which would be the other new slides. We were in the forefront of a new thing to take this country over, and that was called water parks. We were in the forefront. As a result of that, today, everybody that manufactures anything in that world comes to us. So what we did today is put a lasso around the pier. A pier that's good for intermediates, good for juveniles that are on the way to sensationalism, but not so good for grandparents and little children. So we've made it easy for the public. We've created a pay package where they can enjoy both, and we'll continue to do that. I think the biggest single thing I want to thank Michael Neal for, he asked me about the tens of thousands of dollars that he wanted to spend, and I said no, and I say no to everything. And then he comes up with a why that we should. I'm sure many of you have seen what's going on that wheel down there. We have received compliments from the Department of Homeland Security through the Coast Guard. For what reason, I don't know. But we've received compliments every day on what's going on that light Ferris wheel that we have down there. Is it good for us? Yes. But what's it good for? It's good for downtown. It's good for Ocean City. It's a reminder. So if we get a little bit out of that, that's fine. So what we have done, we have captured the benefits of the mayor's past, Mayor Powell, and his predecessors, the current mayor, the predecessors in the council, the predecessors that were before Jim Matthias. And they have stepped up to the plate. We've done nothing unusual. We've been a part of the most unusual resort on the east coast of America, and I can tell you that because I've been in all of them in one kind of business or another. There is no resort like this. Why does that happen? I can tell you why it happens. Because Bud Church, Rick Meehan were young whippersnappers trying to earn a living selling real estate. They know full well what it means to have too much real estate to sell and no buyers. They also know what it means to have a lot of buyers and no real estate. They also know what it means to have high interest rates in the double digits versus low interest rates. So you see, they adapted, they changed, they persevered. Jim Matthias, his dad, his brother came down here, put a little arcade on there. They struggled, they suffered. Jim got up on the boardwalk. He knows what it's like to have a shop in a store. Perseverance, perseverance, perseverance. And that's what we have today. This community has more perseverance, can-do attitude than any other community I've ever seen. But church, the things that perseverance allows you to happen, the things that you learn through adaptation. He's done it with his tourism development team down there. He's done it with highlighting the national parks, the state parks, and how best it can help Worcester County. In this town, I can't tell you what we have done in 50 years. You've got a chamber that's active. You've got a downtown improvement association that's active. You've got a hotel, motel, restaurant association that's active. You've got a tourism department that's active. Why? Because of these people understanding what perseverance is. Do we have bumps in the road coming? You're damn right we do. We've got an economy nobody knows too much about. You're going to have another hurricane. You're going to have another northeast. Jim knows what it is to have a boardwalk shop when it's blowing 40 miles an hour and the wind whistling and the rain is raining. These two guys know the same thing. But with each bump in the road, Ocean City has always come back stronger. So we just represent what Ocean City is. And I thank you for your wonderful awards and comments. And on behalf of our employees, we accept it. And we're going to keep doing it. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope everybody, well, first of all, good afternoon. I hope you were all listening because we just got a free lesson on a lot of things right there. And I came to town as a young businessman in 1995. I was 25 years old, I guess, and came and sat in your office a few times in that conference room, the conference room of death, long room. You're at one end of the table. And of anybody in town that helped form who I am as a businessman, if I have a mentor, it's Mr. Buddy Jenkins. And just the insight he has, the willingness to provide it, always. He is an example, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, an example for how really all businesses should run. There's no accident that your business is 50 years old. And one word you said up here while you were talking was quality. I don't know how many times I've heard that word. And there's a reason you have quality hotels. There's a reason you have a quality amusement park. There's a reason you have such quality staff. It all starts at the top. I'm a quality man. Congratulations.
As a certificate of recognition presented to Jolly Rogers Amusement Park on the occasion of your 50th anniversary celebration, dated June 17th, 2014, signed Benjamin Cardin, United States Senate. Thank you.
And as we wind this part of the celebration down, we do have some gifts for everyone, really. At this point, I'd like to give Bud Church and Jim Matthias and Rick Meehan a few gifts from Jolly Roger. We hope you will wear them and we hope you will display them. So I'm going to put the microphone down.
I'm not sure this is going to be good. I think Jim's going to be in the dunking booth. Where's the dunking booth?
We have 3 framed pictures with the black and white photo that many of you received from 1964 and engraved 1964 to 2014 Jolly Roger 50th anniversary. So this is for the 3 of you guys. For everybody out there, we'd like to distribute to you a 50th anniversary parrot. Some of our young ladies from guest services, I guess we kind of parade around and hand them out and make sure everybody gets one. Steve's got another box back at the back in case we do need some more. We'd also like to do this with Mr. Jenkins' permission. We're running a little bit behind. We'd like to go ahead and offer a tour of the park probably be led by Steve Pastersak, our general manager, to show everybody what's new, what's going on in the park, and a lot of the new cool rides and things that many of you have probably not seen if you haven't been in the park in the last 2 or 3 years. So Steve's going to lead everybody pretty much immediately on a quick tour of the park. I'd like to go ahead and meet with the press, the folks from the media over here immediately to my left when we get done, and I'll make sure you all get plenty of things to talk about as you give us some free publicity on the news and in the newspapers in the weeks to come. So make sure everybody gets a parrot. Steve will be leading the tour here on the left side as well. And we thank everybody for coming. Make sure you get a parrot. Again, one more round of applause for Mr. Jenkins. 50 years in this business is quite an accomplishment.